So now I know that tells you before we get started. Now I know that you have your announcement. Um, so, what we're going to look at this evening is, well, we're not going to look at anything. Obviously, hopefully, you're going to be um, nice and relaxed. But our primary object of focus really is going to be the heart. Yep. So they say they the ancient texts say that we have this thinking mind, this feeling heart mind, and also a stomach mind. Yeah, okay, because we've got our own microbiome in our guts as well. So we're just going to look at this evening. So it's quite warm for the time of year. So just get yourself into a position of ease, something that represents comfort for you. Think about your posture, where you are, whether you're sitting or lying down. Just check in with yourself, make sure you're comfortable. Just attend to anything that's immediately irritating you, and just set that intention that just for the next 20 minutes you'll just dedicate yourself to the practice of mindfulness, just so that you mentally shift that intention, leave the whole of your day. Just press pause, and as you do that, you can bring your eyes to a close. So throughout the practice, our, our mind and our thoughts might bring us away from my voice or from our comfort. And just know that that's perfectly normal. The idea is not to quieten the mind, but when we realize that we followed those thoughts, just to bring ourselves back to a point of focus, an anchor. So just bring your attention to the body first of all. And just see if you can find that anchor. So it might just be the acknowledgement of the position that the body is in, or it could just be the rising and falling of the abdomen. It could be strong sensations within the body, or sounds close to the body. Maybe you can hear your clothing as you breathe, just moving slightly. And just know that any time if you feel lost, or if you aren't sure of where your mind is going, then you can just bring yourself back to this anchor within the body. And then just stay with that. Allow your attention to just be open and accepting, and just aware of each moment. And just approach yourself with tenderness, just in that moment to moment awareness. And just feel the body just beginning to relax, beginning to realize that you are safe, and as you just stay with that awareness, you just feel the body drop. And just take notice of whatever is happening within the body. Just be tender and soft, but just recognize it in a clear and distinct manner. And if you find yourself judging yourself, then just don't pour more judgment on yourself. Just then step away and come back just to that anchor. So with the body, just as a stage, may have many performers and props and lots of things for the eyes and the mind to focus on. We're usually only really spotlighting or focusing one part of the stage. So just let the spotlight of your awareness just focus on the state of the center of the chest, of that heart mind, that heart brain. So the same as if you're watching a performance on the stage. Momentarily your awareness might be taken away to other sensations and experiences around the body. But then just let your focus and awareness just come back to that heart center, that heart mind. So you can shift your attention just to the whole chest area, if that feels right for you. With the center of the chest just taking the center of the thoughts, the sensations. So we can look at it another way as well. So just as a doctor or caregiver might pay attention to the whole of your being. They'll also bring kind and curious attention to the state of your heart, to how you're actually feeling. So you might see sensations as a colour, and it's St. David's Day today, as we talked about. So you might see in the centre of the chest a bright yellow as we look into that heart mind, because we often say, oh, they have a heart of gold. And that kindness that you're observing yourself with and connecting with is that heart of gold. And you can just relax into that. Just letting go and softening. Or you might get a sense of something rich and velvety, maybe some chocolate, something luxurious. So that focus, you might be hearing it in lots of different forms. It could be emotion as well. So how are you feeling? Maybe you feel a bit uncomfortable. Maybe you can't settle. Maybe you can settle. And again, it's just that softness, that focus and awareness that we can bring to each moment, just to allow the rest of the body to soften. And just to signal that it's okay to rest. And it's okay if you feel comfortable with your attention on that heart-mind connection. You can just imagine it expanding slightly, maybe with generosity, and just more kindness. And you can just imagine there's like waves coming from you, and they'll just go out into the world and do what they need to do. So your connection with your heart mind, if you like, is a bit like a lighthouse. And your body is the keeper, the actual physical structure, and the lighthouse sees lots and lots of weather, beautiful sunrises and storms and winds and sunsets. But in the darkness, it beams out light, just emanates and radiates light from this spot. And you don't need to try, you can just relax. And just feel the body softening. Just in this moment. And in the next moment. And maybe you're getting distracted by the noises that are happening in the atmosphere around you. And you can just bring yourself back to that center of the chest, or to that anchor that we talked about. And you don't have to be totally in the body. So you could, if your anchor is your position, you can just see yourself from the outside, just lying or sitting in the position. Just being open and allowing. And just seeing what occurs, what sensations subtly happen. And you might find that just as with the heart mind being the radiating bulb light of kindness and tenderness and generosity beaming out into the world, and weather changing all around the lighthouse, you might notice that your mood has changed and that your body has changed, sensations throughout the mindfulness practice. And just notice how those sensations just arise and pass by, just like the weather. And then just bring some last minutes of awareness just into that heart center, and then just come down to your navel, just starting to really be aware of the body and a softness in the navel, the whole tummy just rising and falling, and then the hips just being supported by the underneath, by the bed or the sofa, and the thighs and the knees, the calves, the ankles, the heels, the back of the ball of the foot, coming forward to just behind the toes, and then feeling the whole of the ball of both the feet and the arch of the instep, and then each toe in turn, from the big toe, the second toe, third toes, fourth toes, and little toes, and then coming back up through the top of the foot, both the feet and the shins, the kneecaps, the front of the thighs, and then coming back through the lower abdomen and the upper abdomen and the chest to the shoulders, both the arms and the elbows and the hands, palm of each hand, and the thumbs and the second finger, third finger, fourth finger and little finger of each hand, and then coming up through the arms to the base of the throat, up through the throat to the head, the back of the head, and then the top of the head and the forehead, the nose, and then the smile. And just feel how maybe with that smile, with that slight curling of the lips, you send out a bit more kindness from the center of the chest. And then just awareness of the whole body, sat or lying in the room, and bringing some movement into that awareness, so connecting with the surface underneath, maybe with the feet and then the hips, the shoulders and the fingers, and then gently returning, bringing your eyes to an open when you're ready. When you're comfortable and ready, you can start to let some light in. So just going to stop the recording a moment so you'll just hear the voice, I think.